We are the fourth. We are South.
It's another beautiful Atlanta night in SunTrust Park. Game 2 as Brian Snitker's Braves try to find a way to handle Bryce Harper. The Washington Nationals right fielder had a big night last night. Tonight it's Game 2 of the season series. Freddie Freeman and the boys will face off with A.J. Cole in just a few moments. Hi, get everybody along with the professor. Look at him, Joe Simpson, looking sharp. Tonight it's Game 2 of the series. Braves and the Washington Nationals. And a big start for Julio Teheran, Joe, as he tries to get things going in positive fashion at home against Washington.
Yeah, I thought he pitched pretty well his first time out. He didn't get a decision. The Braves rallied to take him off the hook. So I expect good things from him tonight.
First start for Julio at SunTrust against the Nationals. It did not go well. 2 home runs. Bryce Harper hit them. A solo shot, then a grand slam. They walloped him. But then, Joe, when Julio got on the road at Nationals Park, the worm really turned.
Yeah, he pitched real well after that. The 3 starts at Nationals Park, he went 3-0. Outstanding work, 5 walks, 13 strikeouts, and only 1 home run allowed in that stretch. Taking a look back at that start at SunTrust Park, it got off to a bad start right away. And you might remember he brushed Harper back, too, right before the homer.
Yeah, the solo home run, this one the grand slam just out of reach of Ender Inciarte. And Bryce Harper has had his way with the Braves. Last 9 appearances against Julio, couple of homers, 2 singles. Hey, he got 2 flyouts, but Bryce is on base an awful lot.
Well, he's hit 7 home runs against Julio, and they have been big home runs, it seems like. So I think Julio's got a little something to prove tonight. He certainly had a good spring training, and he finished up the season pitching well against the Nationals. I don't think they're in his head anymore.
A.J. Cole's got the ball for Washington. The Braves have seen him before. He's their 5th starter for the moment. We'll see how it goes. Big crowd tonight. Braves and Nats, Game 2 on a beautiful night for baseball. We'll get to first pitch right after this.
Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. And by Delta Airlines.
Welcome back to SunTrust Park. We're minutes away from baseball. We might have a bit of a delay getting things started tonight. The light towers weren't operating properly in the outfield. That standard in right center field was late to light up. It's just now coming to full power. So we're going to have a few moments delay before we get things started between the Braves and Nationals here in game 2. When we do start, Julio Teheran for Atlanta, AJ Cole for Washington. A quick break, then we'll have baseball for you, we hope, from Atlanta right after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by your local Ford dealer.
It's a gorgeous night. Right now, you don't need any lights. It's 78. It's sunny. Just a few puffy clouds overhead for game 2 of our series. I'm Chip with Joe Simpson. Third member of our crew tonight is Paul Bird. Paul, Julio Teheran worked on some things in the offseason. What are they, and what do you expect from him tonight?
He did. Well, I'm excited to see him throw. You guys talked about his past 3 outings being hot, but when the lights were out, I snuck into the ball bag and I grabbed a gamer. As you can see, it's rubbed up here with a little bit of mud, so he's working on a slider now. This is a fastball here. Slider's going to be off center of the ball. He's going to come straight down on it, looking for that late break and torque. I held mine like this. He'll hold his more in this kind of fashion. It's different than a true curveball that breaks straight down. It comes in, looks like a fastball. It's a power pitch and breaks sharp. We're looking for good finish and hard late break. He was working on that in spring training. It's a key pitch in the big leagues, especially for a right-hander. So this will be a big pitch for him tonight. And we got to face Bryce Harper and some other very good hitters. I'm really anxious about this matchup. I'm glad the lights are back on, Chip and Joe. I can't wait to see it. Back to you guys.
Well, me too. It might have been a good idea to have the lights kind of dimmed a little bit, Paul, the way these guys are swinging the bats for the Nationals, and they have not trailed 1/2 inning so far. All these wins are 4-0, have come on the road at Cincinnati and won here last night, as you know. They're getting great pitching. They've given up fewer runs, their pitching staff has, than anybody else in baseball. So let's not forget about that when we're talking about the Nationals.
Sounds like a preview for the Ford keys to victory tonight for Mr. Teheran, which will be coming up in just a few minutes. Managers and umpires exchanging lineup cards. One more quick break, then we promise we will have game 2 from SunTrust Park. situation.
Yeah, I just talked to Ed Magnan and Scott Cunningham. So up in the far right, we had a few lights out, and here's what's tough. You don't know when those are going to come back on. So as a starting pitcher, you have to guess and kind of pace yourself. So once they came back on, Julio Teheran got ready, and as you can see, he's walking in from right field. We are ready to go. Chip and Joe, back to you.
Well, I like to hear that. Looks like it's going to be a perfect night. Let's see if the Braves offense can muster enough runs to slow down the Washington Nationals, who enter play 4-0. First time in Washington history that the Nationals have begun a season with a perfect 4-0 mark. We'll get our first look this year at Adam Eaton. He's leading off and playing left field. Anthony Rendon will bat second and third. Bryce Harper, as you know, had a huge game last night. He's number 3. Ryan Zimmerman off to a slow start. 1 for 12 is the cleanup man. Howie Kendrick will move in from left field and play second base tonight. Trey Turner hitting 6th is their shortstop. Brian Goodwin. Miguel Montero, the former Cub, hits 8th. A.J. Cole will pitch and bat 9th. That's Dave Martinez in his first season as the Nationals manager.
Julio Teheran coming off his first start of 5 2/3 innings against Philadelphia is on quite a streak against the Washington Nationals. 19 consecutive scoreless innings against the Nats. That's tied for the most scoreless consecutive innings against any other team by another pitcher. 19 straight against him. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Out of his mind? No, he's not crazy. He just got these guys out of his head by the way he pitched against them last year. And the first inning, they have been on the board in every first inning they've played so far. Tonight, try to shut them out.
So Julio will get the high fives on his dugout bench. He'll cool off for a moment, then he'll take the mound for inning 1 of game 2. Braves Nationals baseball right around the corner. We are delayed for a few moments. A few balky light in the outfield here at SunTrust Park, especially that standard right above the chop house. The light standard to the left of that from our vantage point is fully lit, but Ed Mangan told Paul Bird we're ready to go, and here come the Braves and Julio Teheran making his second start of the 2018 season. As we mentioned in our opening comments, Joe, every start in the major leagues is a big one, but for Julio, his confidence, his psyche against Washington, perhaps this his biggest so far. Yeah, always good to put one of your nemesis behind you, you know, and realize that the way you pitched against them last year will be a continuation, because he really did get it turned around against a team that had just beaten him up over the last 2 or 3 years. Julio coming off a 5 2/3 inning start against the Phillies. He gave up 4 runs, 4 hits. Walks were a problem, 3 of those, including a home run against Philadelphia. And lifetime a good record, 6-4 over 18 starts. One of the things I want to watch tonight about him is his fastball velocity. His numbers on average
against the Phillies was down about 2 miles an hour. It was averaged around 89, and he's usually around 91. So let's keep an eye on that tonight.
He and Bryce Harper have an awful lot of head-to-head history in this great series between the Braves and Nationals, a series that, quite frankly, for the last couple of years has been pretty one-sided. The Braves did a much better job head-to-head with Washington last year, going 9-10, and the big reason for that was an ERA 1.6 runs better than the Braves staff put together in the 2016 season. So hopefully that trend will continue tonight. Rough night for Sean Newcomb, making his first start for the Braves. Brian Snitker's comments were, I think, right on target. He said Sean just couldn't get it together. He was out of sorts from the very beginning, and that early error, I think, as you mentioned last night, Joe, was a problem. Hopefully the defense behind Julio tonight for the Braves will be much better.
You have to play good defense against this ball club, against Washington. You can't walk people. You can't make errors, because if you give them extra base runners and extra outs, they will clobber you.
So Adam Eaton is making his way to the plate. Eaton, the reigning National League Player of the Week, and why not? He had a huge series against the Cincinnati Reds, including a 5-for-5 day on Saturday at the Great American Ballpark. Might recall Eaton blew out his knee in late April last year against the New York Mets, and so Washington has the luxury of bringing him along rather slowly because they have such great 25-man roster depth. Eaton with 2 homers, 5 RBIs, 8 hits already, and Julio's first of the night is an 88-mile-an-hour fastball that missed 1-0. 78 degrees officially, and a beautiful breezy night. Ball 3 for Adam Eaton. Walks have been a problem for the Braves so far in the early going this year. As I mentioned, Newcomb walked 4 last night. 3 of those 4 walks issued by the Braves staff came around to score. First strike of the night, says home plate umpire Tim Timmons. Now Julio, a 3-1 count. Eaton sees a lot of pitches, and he just saw a 5th dance in low for ball 4. So a leadoff walk, and here goes Washington. As Joe mentioned, they've scored in every first inning so far this year.
Adam Eaton was quite an acquisition for him last year. They needed a center fielder so they could move Trey Turner to shortstop. And man, he was off to a great start when he tore his knee up, just hitting the first base bag on April 28th last year. And some would tell you he's not 100% running yet, even after the surgery and having it been almost a year since the injury.
Here's Anthony Rendon, and Julio gets ahead with a strike.
Now, as much success as Harper's had against Julio, these right-handed hitters, not so much. Rendon, 242 career hitter, Zimmerman 233. They have not exactly worn him out.
Bryce Harper, though, has, and he's on deck. Sandwiched in between Rendon and Zimmerman. 3rd on the lineup card. First things first, you got to deal with Rendon, who had a hit, a run, and an RBI last night. And that's smacked into right center field. That's going to get down. Nick Markakis to his right. And Eaton makes his way from 1st to 3rd. And Julio's in the soup automatically. And early with Bryce Harper coming up 1st and 3rd. Nobody out. So Harper stands in. He's our SunTrust Confidence Starts Here feature.
15-game streak against Atlanta with a lot of damage. I believe Rendon hit a fastball too that was 88.
Bryce Harper had his 5th career 4-walk game here last night. He also hit a 3-run homer in the 2nd. And that skips up 1 ball, no strikes.
If you weren't with us last night, we brought up something that was brought to our attention about an adjustment, if you want to call it that, for Bryce Harper, where he doesn't have quite the leg kick that he had before, and actually he's just kind of coming up on the ball of his right foot, picking his heel up and pretty much just putting it straight down and using his strength instead of a lot of wasted motion.
Well, if it's a new swing, last night we saw the same results.
But he didn't take a big hack at that. It wasn't a big aggressive, violent swing like we're used to seeing.
Three balls, no strikes for Bryce Harper, who has walked 6 times this year. He has yet to strike out this year.
17 for 37 for that 459 mark.
Harper made him throw a strike, and Julio obliged. It's 3-1.
Julio would love to get a double play and concede the run.
Rendon and Eaton, the runners at the corners. Now the 3-1 pitch. Little roller hit toward Ozzie. The Braves are going to get 1 out. Nationals will get Eaton home. Give Harper his 8th RBI on a little tapper. And once again, the Nationals score in the first inning. They are 5 for 5 in first inning runs scored in games played this year. And it's 1-0.
And a runner that reached on a walk.
Braves have now issued 26 walks as a staff. Here's Ryan Zimmerman, runner at second with 1 out. So far it's been a very slow start for Zimmerman. He's 1 for 12 with an RBI for the Nationals, coming off a 36 homer 108 RBI year last year. That had the plate even count. You see the Braves defensive shift. Albies playing right behind Anthony Rendon, who leads at second base. Swing and a drive. That ball is belted, and it is long gone. Zimmerman begins to heat up. A 2-run homer, and the Nationals lead 3-0 in the first.
He had hit 2 homers against Julio despite his low batting average against him, but he got a gift right there. It looked like a hanging slider right out over the middle of the plate. Oh, fastball. Fastball. They wanted it down and in. He left it down and out over the middle of the plate.
So Zimmerman's first home run of the year, and the Nationals lead by 3. And Howie Kendrick, the hitter. The Nationals got Kendrick from the Phillies midway through the season last year. He was a big help. That ball smoked. Dansby to his left makes the peg to first for 2 outs. And Kendrick had a big game last night with a couple of doubles. So here's Trey Turner. We've seen Turner hit leadoff quite a bit for the Washington club. Dave Martinez with Eaton healthy. Joe has a lot of flexibility as to who bats first. And we have seen Turner be a big-time run producer against Atlanta. Hitting 6th will give him that opportunity for Washington this year against all opponents.
It's a great luxury to be able to move him down in the order, but it goes to Adam Eaton and what a good leadoff man he is why this guy's down in the order.
One ball, no strikes. Well, Trey Turner, very young big league player, has quickly become a big-time Braves killer. 32 career games, 9 homers, 24 RBIs, and he scored 34 times in those games. He was 1 for 5 here last night. Good off-speed pitch evens the count.
First one of those this inning.
Deep count for Turner with 2 outs. Popped up. Long run Freeman, longer run Markakis, foul ground, and neither can get there.
Nick took a quick look to see where Freddie was, and he had the best shot at it. He may have lost sight of it, though, after he looked down at Freddie.
Another payoff pitch for Trey Turner. Here it is. Another pop. Almost the same spot. This one, though, will reach the seats on the fly. Trey Turner was an acquisition by Mike Rizzo, the Nationals general manager. Turner was originally a San Diego Padre. Pitch low, another walk.
And the first mound visit used by the Braves tonight comes here in the first inning. Frustration already for Julio with the first walk. And then after the 3 runs, he was not happy about that call.
So 25 opening inning pitches for Tehran. 2 more walks for the Braves staff. And Brian Goodwin's coming up. Goodwin came on in the 8th inning last night and had a hit and knocked in 2.
How many did Newcomb throw in the first last night? 30 or 35?
36 unofficially.
Yeah. It's just these long innings cut into how deep you can go in the ball game. I was looking across the board at box scores this morning about pitchers throwing 90 to 95 pitches and hadn't gotten out of the 6th inning, sometimes out of the 5th inning.
Well, Tanner Roark last night, I believe, was just the 13th guy to pitch 7 innings or more throughout the major leagues in the first week.
Right.
So it's becoming very, very rare indeed. In fact, no Braves starter has gotten through 6 complete yet in the first 4 games. In fact, the Braves starting staff has thrown a total of 20 2/3 innings in the first 4 games. So that's got to improve.
Jacob Junis today for Kansas City, an exception to all that. He had thrown 83 pitches, I think it was, through 7 innings. It was a very cold day. I get that. Guys were swinging a lot at the first pitch. He threw 87 pitches in 7 innings. That was a rarity.
Runner goes, pitch a strike, throw to second, not. It's into center field. Dansby came diving across the second base bag to try to corral that tailing throw. And Trey Turner has his second stolen base of the season, and he's in scoring position with 2 outs.
High leg kick gave him a little extra step. Again, a great catch and release by Stewart, but this throw pulled Dansby into the runner. Been able to corral that throw, they might have gotten the out. Absolutely.
Goodwin has 7 RBIs. Tied for the league lead with his teammate Bryce Harper and Nick Ahmed. Slashed out of play. And the count 1-2.
Yeah, the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks had a long night last night. 16 or 17 innings.
Kenley Jansen gave up a 3-run homer in the 9th to send it to extra innings. Second time Jansen's had a late inning home run cost the Dodgers dearly. Joe Panik hit one against him in the 9th inning during that Giants Dodgers series. The 1-2 pitch.
Again, a sub-90 fastball.
See if Julio can end the inning right here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nope.
And it's very important that he leave that runner at second base. This is not a night where he's got to be matched up with Scherzer or Strasburg or Gio or even Roark. He's matched up with their number 5 guy tonight. And A.J. Cole will be his first start. We don't know what he's going to have or bring to the table tonight. So there's a good chance the Braves can get on the board, score some runs. But how many? Well, hopefully they'll only need 4.
He does leave that runner at second base. A 79-mile-an-hour slider strikes out Goodwin. Washington gets 3 first-inning runs, and the Braves are coming up. Gets the ball for the Nationals.
Great big guy, 6'5", 240, 26 years old, out of Winter Springs, Florida. 4th-round pick back in 2010. You're looking at his numbers from a year ago. 8 starts, 3-5, a 3.81 ERA, quite a few walks in there. And again, this is his first start of the year. Low 90s fastball, sometimes up to 94 with a slider and a curveball that Kevin Seitzer said has kind of changed. It was kind of slurvy. Now it's a little more 1-7, a little more downer action.
His first pitch of the night, in for a strike at 91 for Ender, who's off to a good start at the plate. And Ciarte 6 for 19 with 5 runs batted in.
As you can see, he's kind of a slinger, kind of a low arm slot, which would make it understandable why his breaking pitch was a little slurvy, kind of flat. But Kevin said in spring training they saw him right at the beginning of March, and it was more top to bottom.
Well, he was a 4th-round pick by the Nationals, and he fell that far. Many thought he'd be a 1st-round choice because he was on his way to the University of Miami. And the Nationals gave him a $2 million bonus to not sign with the Hurricanes and sign with them instead. And he gets a swing and a miss for his first out tonight, 1 away. Actually traded Cole to the Oakland A's in a deal that brought Gio Gonzalez to the Nationals, and then Washington got him back in a 3-team trade in 2013. Well, what an opportunity for A.J. Cole. He can just watch and learn from Scherzer and Strasburg and Tanner Roark, and even Gio Gonzalez as the number 5 guy. Line base hit for Ozzie. He needed that. Loses the helmet. Big turnaround first as Harper came up quickly with that flashy white glove, and Ozzie snaps an 0 for 9 with a clean single with 1 out.
Nice easy swing too, didn't overswing. I think Ozzie's been trying to get some hits back with 1 swing of the bat. Tonight he is back to his old self there with a nice easy one.
So let's see if Freddie sees some strikes. He has not seen many in the first 4 games. An amazing stat on Freddie Freeman coming up. First the pitch. That was the 94th pitch Freddie has seen in 4+ games. He has seen 28 pitches in the strike zone. That's why he has walked 8 times.
That's what makes it even more impressive that he does the damage he does.
So 5 RBIs on those 28 strikes. Well, the Atlanta first baseman, 1 ball, no strikes. Big shift on for him. He's got the whole left side to play with if he wants. Cole pitched him that way, but missed away. 2-0.
Miguel Montero is the catcher, former Cub, former Diamondback. Career 22% success rate on stolen bases.
And you know Rendon's hoping he goes. Every third baseman loves trying to turn the double play, tag out runners when the shift is on. See if the Braves are running here with 1 out.
See, it's just a team's philosophy and how it differs between this team and the Phillies, who would put their third baseman over in the hole in a double play situation and leave the double play combo intact, but not the Nationals. They have their third baseman at shortstop.
We are told A.J. Cole is a very deliberate worker. Two balls and a strike. And again to first. Braves have seen him before. Cole made his first ever start against Atlanta back in 2015. He also made 1 relief appearance last September, and the Braves have hit him hard. 7 earned runs over 4 career innings pitched against
the Braves offense. 2-1 count.
And that start 2 years ago, actually 3 years ago now, 2 innings, 9 hits, 9 runs, 4 of them were earned, and he didn't get the loss. Nationals came back and won the game 13-12.
You are living a charmed life when you have that kind of night as a starting pitcher. 3-1 count. Runner goes. The pitch is high. It's ball 4. And Freeman's aboard with the 9th walk he's earned this year. And the Braves trying to answer Cole. They've got a threat. 2 on, 1 out in a 3-0 game. And Nick Markakis, the Braves batter.
And it's interesting. Did you see what Rendon did? Rendon went running, racing to third base. He was leaving somebody else to cover here because they were not going to let Albies circle and go on to third.
And on that last replay, did you see the look that Trey Turner was giving Rendon? Almost like he was surprised that he didn't take the throw.
Yeah. Well, an opportunity here. Get right back in it.
Nick Markakis with 1 out. Line to right field. That's down for a hit. Ozzy's going to score. Freddie's on his way to third. Ron Washington's going to stop him. It's a double for Markakis on the first pitch. And the Braves are indeed right back in the game.
Nick took an 0 for 4 last night. He wasn't going to let that happen again. That was a ringing double. Fastball inner third. And a quick barrel to the ball.
6 RBIs for Markakis, and that brings up Preston Tucker. Preston's got 6 hits so far for the Braves. He's knocked in a couple of runs. Good to see the Braves answer the Washington 3 in the top half with a run and hopefully more themselves in their first at bat. High fly ball, wallop deep right. That ball is headed for the chop house.
What do you say we start over?
No doubt about it. Homer for Tucker. His first as a Brave.
Low slider. That was kind of that slurvy breaking ball that didn't do much. That was an easy swing. What's your burger?
So the Braves have 4 of their own in the first inning. And Dansby Swanson, the hitter. Right there for a strike. So maybe this will be one of those history repeats itself games. A 13-12 affair with Cole and Tehran. Oh, 2. Dansby hitting .294. That's a 5 for 17. Line at the plate. And now 1-2. Strike 3. Swanson couldn't pull the trigger, and that's strikeout number 2 for Cole.
Looked like a good pitch and could be. Dansby way he walked away. I think he knew it, but the problem was he got a couple of borderline calls against him early in the count. Yeah, it's a good pitch. Kind of set that one up.
Ryan Flaherty's been the hottest Braves hitter. He's 8 for 16 so far. Two.
Took a little off. That might have been the better curveball.
Flaherty with a 4-game hitting streak, his longest since 2016 when he was with Baltimore. And a little number fouled at the plate. Do it again. As we told you Sunday, he went 4 for 5, scored 4 runs, the third baseman in Atlanta franchise history with 4 runs and 4 hits in a game. Chipper Jones did that 3 times. Terry Pendleton did it in his spectacular 1991 year with the Braves. Missed a corner, 1-2. Preston Tucker made this club because he can hit, and he has done that in the first 5 games. Little foul at first.
I'm sure I'd put a little hop in the step of Julio Teheran in the dugout too. Made his hair look better.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And that one at the knees. Another breaking ball. That's been Cole's best pitch. What an inning for Atlanta. A single, a walk, a Nick Markakis double, then Preston Tucker with a nice, smooth, easy swing goes into launch mode. His first homer as a Brave, and Atlanta answers the Nationals 3 with 4 themselves, and they go to the second. First inning. Ryan Zimmerman with a home run for the Nationals. Preston Tucker with a 3-run homer for the Braves. It's Atlanta 4, Washington 3 after 1 inning of play. Preston Tucker hit a home run kind of like the way David Justice used to hit the home runs, right? I mean, just one of those majestic deep drives to right field.
Line drives.
How are you, man?
Good, good.
Look at you looking sharp.
It's always good to see you guys. I am all twisted up over here.
Let me help you out here.
You're a former broadcaster.
There we go.
Put the microphone
There we go.
on.
I'm good.
How are you, man?
Fellas? How y'all been?
We're great.
Yeah?
Great. You look good. You
Well,
and Chip got a little something working down here on
well,
the chin,
you know,
don't
this
you?
is my wisdom. You know, I let go of my youthful beauty.
Well, I know I can't say that to Joe. He'll laugh me out of the booth. I ain't got no wisdom. What's been up?
Oh man, just hanging out in San Diego with my wife and 3 kids. My oldest son is, got a scholarship to San Diego State, play football.
Nice.
Wow.
Yep. And then my youngest son, my boys are football players. So my youngest one is committed to football now. He's a freshman. And then my daughter's doing her acting thing. Yep. So that's it, man. Just
That's exciting.
Living that life.
So life is good.
Yeah, I cannot complain. Everything is great. I miss Atlanta. I love getting back to Atlanta when I can. I love this ballpark. Man, I wish we would have had this.
I was just going to say, would you have loved to have played here?
Man, this is a beautiful ballpark. Man, I'm just born 20 years too late. Too
Right
early.
to the porch, yeah.
Well, the way it blows out here in the early weeks of the season, you might be able to step in there right now and hit 10 or 15, man.
Yeah, if EY is throwing, if Snip throwing BP, or you or Joe, then I got a chance.
Oh, man, this is AJ Cole. 2 balls and a strike to him with 1 man out. There's a fly ball by Cole. That's one. Tucker back. That ball is also gone. AJ Cole has just hit a home run.
Well, now we can really start over. The pitcher.
First career home run.
David, have you had a chance to watch this Washington team play much?
Not much. I know they have some good players. Everybody knows about Harper and Zimmerman. But I haven't. I heard they're expected to win the division or at least fight for it. But I don't know much about them.
They're good. They're really good. They're deep. They've got a lot of good things about their team, not just starting pitching and Bryce Harper, but good bullpen, etc.
Well, the first inning tonight, after Tucker hit the home run, David, as Eaton takes a strike, is the first time they've trailed at any point in their first 5 games this year.
Wow.
Their worst score before the first inning was 0-0 for 8 hitters. That's it. Another fly ball toward Tucker in left. He's going to catch this one. 2 outs.
Well, obviously they're playing with a lot of confidence, right?
Right. Yes.
They know they're good. It's just a matter of, it's a long season. You got to stay away from injuries. You guys know how that is. You got to stay away from injuries to your best players and definitely to your pitching staff. But like I said, they got the talent, they got the confidence. They know they're good. They know they can win. So, look to them to be there.
Expectations are something that everyone talks about for a professional athlete. You know all about that with your days here in Atlanta and your other stops in the major leagues. So much of what Washington has done in the regular season has been erased very early in postseason play. So from a player's perspective, dealing with the expectations and overcoming, say, failure in postseason, how does Washington overcome that?
But postseason is different. Now you're facing the other teams 1 and 2s, and it comes down to who has the best quality pitching. You look at the Houston team and you look at the Dodgers, you got to run up against Kershaw, you got to run up against Verlander. I mean, you know how it is. Those guys are no walks in the park. So, you know how it is. In the playoffs, it comes down to who makes the least amount of mistakes. And also, whenever you have the pitcher, if you get him into trouble, you got to take advantage. Guys like Verlander is not going to give you a lot of opportunities, right? But if you get a leadoff double, you got to get that run to third. You got to get him in with less than 2 and take advantage of the very few opportunities that you get in the playoffs. I mean, it's tough getting over that hump, man, because everybody's good. Once the playoffs start, anybody can win.
Strike 3. Julio Teheran takes care of Rendon. David, can you stick around for another half inning?
Sure.
Got a couple more things I want to run by you as we head to the home second. AJ Cole's first big league homer ties it up. 4 apiece. Chip Joe and Braves Hall of Famer David Justice here at SunTrust Park. David, we have seen some crazy stuff in Major League Baseball here in the first week. Can you believe all the pitching changes that we are seeing and how few innings starters are now working in this sport?
It's totally different, right? I mean, back in the day, starters hated to come out early. You know, now, like you said, I think it just has become such. Starters give you 5, then they'll have a 6th inning guy, maybe a 6th and 7 guy, then 8, and then 9. You know, and that's the formula now that a lot of teams are going to. But I tell you, if you're a starting pitcher, you got to like that, right? I mean,
heck yeah.
I mean, shoot, saving a lot of innings on your arm, and they're still paying well.
You bet they are.
Yes, they are.
You bet.
As a hitter, is that tougher to deal with? Trying to figure out who you're going to face in the 7th inning or 8th inning of a close game, or in the old days you'd see a starter 3 times and take your chances.
Well, even in the late 90s, you know, when I was with the Yankees, you knew in the 7th inning you'd get Mike Stanton, 8th inning you'll get Jeff Nelson, and then Mariano in the 9th. So this has been going on for, what are we, 2018 now, so this has been going on at least 18 years. So it's not surprising. You kind of game plan for that. You know if you're a good left-handed hitter and it's late in the game, you know who their left-handed specialist is, and you just game plan for him. Actually, I don't mind it, because you know, you face a guy 5 times, he's not going to surprise you with anything. So you kind of helps you formulate your game plan the more times you see him. So that really wouldn't bother me, seeing a guy, you know, the same guy, you know, every 7th or 8th inning as the guy I got to beat. You
say that you don't get a chance to get back here too often. Why are you here now?
Well, I had a speaking engagement today at the stadium. Greg McMichael brought me in, talked to some of the people at the Hajoka company. I hope I said that right. Hajoca. And I had a great time, great bunch of guys. I'm going to hang out with them for a little bit, but that's why I'm back in town. And like I said, I love getting back to Atlanta. It's amazing that I still run into people from back in the day. Like, they're still around.
Sure.
And it's just a love fest, you know.
I was watching the show the other day about the Braves, the team of the 90s, and you were prominent in there with some of your comments about not just the World Series in '95, but about the run in the 90s. And of course, your home run off Jim Poole will be forever remembered here. But you hit a home run that I remember before I got here in '91 in Cincinnati.
Oh yeah,
that
Rob
was a
Dibble.
Big one off Rob Dibble.
Oh yeah, man, we're down 6-0. And we slowly come back. I remember Terry Pilton, we're down by 1. Dion had just pinch hit for Lemke. And Terry gets out, runs past me, and says, DJ, pick me up. And Dibble always threw me first pitch fastballs away. So all I was thinking was, if I get one of those fastballs away, I can hit it up the middle and hopefully tie the game with Dion's speed. And it was more toward the middle. And when I swung, I knew I got him as soon as I hit it. And it was the great call. I think Braves lead.
I think Dad broke out the sorry, Dad, I've got to use it. Holy cow.
Yeah. yeah. And you know another thing about that home run is that night my high school had David Justice night, and they were sitting in right field, and the ball landed in their section.
Really?
Crazy, right?
Oh man,
that's crazy.
No balls and a strike for Julio Teheran. Cole missed inside. Julio danced out of the way. Even count. Well, you were part of the Braves organization before those glory years that began in 1991. David, as you look at this team from afar, and I know you follow the Braves and are still very much involved as a former Brave, do you see the similarities between those late 80s teams and 1991, 92?
Well, there is some young talent, but I don't know if they have as much young talent. I don't know if they have as much young talent that's ready. Right. Like we were. I mean, you got to understand it. In '91, you're talking about Dion, me, Ronnie. You know, then we had a good splice of veterans. You know, you had TP and you had Sid Breen,
Rafael
Belliard. So I think we probably had more young. I don't know. Maybe we had more young players that were ready. I mean, I was just Rookie of the Year in 1990, 1991. You know, I was expected to really produce. I don't know if these young guys have the same amount of pressure on them to produce like we did in 91, 92. Even though we went from worst to first, I just think we may have had more young players that were more ready right now to play.
Plus, it always goes to the additions of Pendleton, Bream,
yes.
and Belliard. But Lemke was already here.
Yep.
Blauser was here.
Yep.
You guys had some solid players that knew how to play. Just needed to compliment them.
I agree. And then I'm not sure how much these guys have played together in the minor leagues, and also I'm not sure how much they hang with each other. You know, we were a big cohesive bunch of guys. I mean, we came through the minor leagues together. Man, I'm used to staying at the Days Inn where you open up the hotel and you're outside, right? With you know what I mean. Denny's is across the street. 8 of us are going together. I mean, our camaraderie and our unity was very tight, and I think that was one of the reasons why we were able to play so well at such a young age, because we knew each other and we really supported each other. We had relationships with each other. I don't know how they could be just as close as we were, but I'm not sure.
3 balls, no strikes for Ender Inciarte, and a wild 4-4 game here in the second inning. We're visiting with David Justice, Braves Hall of Famer, as A.J. Cole turns it loose and he misses outside. He's all over the place. So Cole's walked 3 guys. And now Ozzie Albies is coming up. He's one of those young players we're very excited about, David. This guy is short in stature but long on power. He's a powerfully built young man.
Hey, he's an exciting player. I like when he hits one in the gap so he can let that hair flow.
He kind of does a little Willie Mays too. He kind of flips that off.
Flips it. Yeah. But hey, listen, he's got a lot of speed, a lot of talent. I wish him nothing but the best. I mean, we need him obviously to mature and continue to get better. But right now he is some kind of talent.
Well, he broke out of an 0 for 9 with a clean single in the first inning and scored on Nick Markakis's opening inning double. And he strokes another one toward right center field. Harper to his right, plays it on a big hop. Here comes Stewart around third. The throw's coming to third. Ozzie on his way to second, and the Braves have taken the lead again. A wild game tonight at SunTrust Park. Ozzie Albies 2 for 2.
That was good base running on Albies' part as well.
Sure was, and he got a change up, stayed back enough to slap this into right center. One-handed it. Now you're going to see something that I get on my soapbox about a lot, David, and I know you guys in the outfield used to throw virtually every day. You take infield and outfield. Outfielders don't throw anymore, and you see the results of it because everybody's way off the mark half the time.
Well, he did not have a good chance of throwing him out. I mean, the percentages of him throwing him out right there are very, very slim. You have to throw that ball into second base.
So that cost Harper and the Nationals a base. And maybe it'll cost him another run if Freddie Freeman gets anything good to hit. Freddie has not seen many strikes. In fact, he walked his first time up and scored on Tucker's homer.
This is something we talk about a lot, Chip, about walking guys at the bottom of the order just to turn the order over and get to the real sluggers, and all of a sudden the Nationals have provided the Braves that opportunity.
That's what Atlanta did last night in the Nationals' opening win of the series. Now Freddie unloads deep right field. Harper turns. That ball is in the bullpen.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I know I was that much. I still got luck and hits in me. I might need to come on here and join you guys.
We may not let you leave the booth if this keeps up.
I may not leave the booth.
He knew it. Freeman's second homer. And A.J. Cole has been clobbered again. 8 runs on 5 hits, and he's gotten 4 outs. Here's Markakis. And he takes a strike.
Are you big on all this launch angle stuff?
No, I don't understand it. What's the point of it? I mean, what's it matter?
Well, strikeouts don't matter anymore, so you can uppercut and try to hit the ball out of the ballpark.
I'll tell you what I'm more surprised at is how many pitches that are just off the outside corner that are actually called balls now. Back when we played, those were strikes all day long. Frank Pulley, for sure. We were in LA one day. He told me, Justy, I got dinner reservations.
Fly ball to left. And Eaton retreats. He's got it. There's the second out.
But they make him put the ball on the plate now.
Yeah.
Which is awesome for a hitter. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, I wish they would have been that way back when we played.
600 home runs.
That's why games are 3+ hours long
right
now.
No, I tell you, I am amazed. I know some pitchers that wouldn't have pitched that long if they made them put it on the plate more.
Preston Tucker, a 3-run homer his first time. Nice easy swing for Tucker, and the ball just exploded off his bat.
I like the way he swings the bat. Yeah, he's going to try to hit himself somewhere into the lineup once the other young player comes up, the left fielder.
Ronald Acuna.
Yeah.
He smokes that ball into shallow right and right into the shift. Howie Kendrick makes the play. David, it's great to see you.
Hey, good
Welcome
to see you
back
guys
to Atlanta.
as always.
The one and only David
Justice.
Justice.
See you guys always.
Braves Hall of Famer.
Great to see you guys.
He's the best. And he was good luck tonight. 4 more runs for Atlanta in the second inning. It's Braves 8, Nationals 4 after 2 wild innings. Moment this season. Get Atlanta Braves home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Here's how you want to face Bryce Harper. Base is empty and nobody out. And he goes into launch mode, and he drives the first pitch into the chop house seats in right. Fasten your seatbelts, folks. The Braves hit last. It's 8-5 now. And for Harper, his 8th career home run against Julio.
This is just hard to figure, isn't it? Unless you see this last pitch and you see a hanging breaking ball, and he just doesn't miss mistakes. One of the things this adjustment on his stride has done, or lack of a stride, has allowed him to stay back better. He doesn't jump at off-speed pitches anymore. Amazing.
So Harper's 4th home run trims the lead to 3 for Julio. Ryan Zimmerman touched off a 2-run bomb in the first. The ball is flying tonight. Already 5 home runs in the first 2+ innings. Harper, Zimmerman, and Cole for Washington. Freeman and Tucker have gone deep for the Braves. Poked foul by Ryan Zimmerman, and he's behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's amazing to me how Zimmerman, with that high leg kick, is able to still get to breaking stuff, especially pitches away from him. And as I said last night, he wants the ball away, but still able to time it in such a way to fight off a real tough outside breaking ball, stay alive if he's behind in the count. You just feel like he's got to commit so quickly and so early, but he doesn't. His hands stay back.
There's a shot to right, and right at Markakis. Hard hit ball, but right at the Atlanta right fielder.
Have there been any quiet outs?
Not many.
I know there have been some strikeouts.
Maybe when the lights went out, they fixed them too well, because the hitters are seeing the ball exceptionally well early on.
He'd turn a few more out.
Right. One away. Here's Kendrick. He bounced out to shortstop.
Julio's walked 2 guys. One of them scored in the first inning. Cole has walked 3 men, and they've all scored.
Right there, 2-2.
One of his better fastballs.
Good game in New York tonight. You got the Phillies and the Mets. No score. That game's in the 6th. They were snowed out yesterday. Ben Lively starting for the Phillies. He's still in the game after 5 with 76 pitches.
Oh, they're not going to make any changes tonight.
Off the screen.
They wouldn't dare. Might be a little chilly in New York tonight too.
Pretty good chance.
Night for the hitters.
Cubs and Reds were postponed in Cincinnati today. That's exactly what the Cubs need. They haven't been scoring any runs at all. They lost 1-0 yesterday. Fouled back and out of play. We'll see the Cubs on the final stop of our upcoming 3-city road trip. Takes us to Denver, to D.C., and then to Wrigley Field.
I've got my coat ready.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, 40% chance of snow on Friday afternoon in Denver.
No surprise.
3-2 pitch. He missed a double by a foot. We'll do it again.
Cold day in Detroit today too. 40 degrees at game time with a 13-mile-an-hour wind. So it's no surprise that ended 1-0.
Big night in Houston tonight. They are beating Baltimore 2-1. They unveiled their World Championship banner last night. They got their World Series rings before the game today, and they are gorgeous. First ever World Championship in Houston. Fly ball to right, headed for the corner, slicing away from Markakis, and that's foul. Jim Crane, the owner of the Houston Astros, very generously awarded 1,300 World Series rings, not only to the uniform personnel, but every member of their organization got one.
No kidding.
Today, 1,300 rings.
Wow, never heard of that.
He said, there have been people who have worked for this organization 35, 40 years, and they've gotten nothing. This is our chance to do something nice for the employees. And I'll say that's real nice. Pitch. Fouled away. 11 pitches for Tehran against Kendrick.
Yankees won their home opener today. Giancarlo Stanton went 0 for 5 and struck out 5 times. Welcome to the Bronx.
Bet you they boot him off the field.
Probably did. Yankees winning 11-4 because Didi Gregorius hit 2 homers and drove in 8 runs.
There's a BB by Howie Kendrick down the left field line. That ball is headed for the corner. Kendrick on his way to second, his 3rd hit of the series, all of them 2 base hits. And it's not easy for Julio trying to protect an 8-5 lead.
Slider kind of backing up on him. Backed up right into the barrel.
What's his slider speed been tonight?
Well, he's thrown a breaking ball that's been around 79 that he's been effective almost like a changeup.
Right.
But his slider has, I don't know, 83, 82.
Okay, so I'm not a hitter, never have been one. You were in the major leagues as Turner digs in. You've got an 89-mile-an-hour fastball and an 83-mile-an-hour slider. Is that enough separation to give a hitter trouble?
Yeah, and that one was 81. But it's not his velocity on it. It's the break or lack thereof. It's not sharp.
A base hit by Turner the other way. Here comes Kendrick around third. He'll be stopped as the Nationals have runners at the corners. Braves bullpen is busy. And here's Brian Goodwin, who struck out to end the opening inning.
Boy, Turner's a good player. Good looking hitter. Uses the whole field.
Chuck Hernandez pops out of the dugout to make a mound visit here. That'll give the Braves pen a little more time to work. Remember, Julio is due up 4th when the Braves bat in the 3rd inning. Washington led 3-0 after a half inning. Braves led 4-3 after 1. Washington tied it on an A.J. Cole homer in the 2nd. Braves got 4 in the 2nd themselves. Big blow, Freddie Freeman's 3-run blast. Harper's homered on the first pitch of the 3rd inning, and the Nationals with 1 out have runners at 1st and 3rd. And Brian Goodwin with 7 RBIs digging in.
Gene Carl, who did such a good job of pitching long relief the other night against the Phillies, is up.
Goodwin's had a tough time with Julio in his career. He's 1 for 8. Turner was leaning. Julio would love a ground ball and a chance for a double play here.
We've got the tying run at the plate, and he's off to a good start. And he's hit a couple of home runs. Well, 1 home run. It was a grand slam, but that's not going to stop Turner from running.
Julio would like to take a little spring out of Turner's legs here. As Joe mentioned in the 1st inning, a good throw would have had him at second base. The throw from Chris Stewart tailed, and Dansby couldn't corral it. Turner's running. Stewart couldn't get a handle, and Trey Turner steals second base.
And he couldn't get it out of his glove cleanly.
So a hit might mean 2 more runs for Washington. They're down 3, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out.
That was a straight changeup, and couldn't get him to offer.
Well, will Davey Martinez turn Goodwin loose 3-0?
I would say yeah.
Shift on for him. And here it is. Not close enough to offer. So a walk loads the bases for Miguel Montero. And Brian Snitker is pacing. He's on the bottom step. And once he gets confirmation from Chuck Hernandez that Shane Carl is ready, that is going to be it for Julio Teheran tonight. So Julio works 2 1/3 innings. He surrenders 3 homers, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and the bases are loaded. Those runs belong to him. The Braves are in their bullpen early again. We'll see how it works out after this. .30. Kelsey was struck by a errant ball here at SunTrust Park a couple of days ago. Suffered a fractured orbital bone, but she's the toughest sideline reporter in the business. She is ready to get back to work. Great to have her back on the air tomorrow as the Braves and Nats wrap up our series here in Atlanta. And Kelsey, of course, cleared to fly with us to Denver to start our road trip with the Colorado Rockies on Friday.
Out there in the old Rocky Mountains.
Yes, indeed. Shane Carl will be the pitcher for Atlanta. Carl did an excellent job in relief against the Phillies. Yes, he took the loss, but he was the last man standing in that extra inning affair. Won by Philadelphia 5-4 on the 30th of March. No place for Miguel Montero to stand on the bases. 3 aboard for Washington with 1 out. And he swings the first one and drives it to right. Markakis charges, catches. Kendrick goes halfway. No advance. Just what the doctor ordered. One away for Carl, 2 away in the inning.
Nice quick release by Markakis after the catch here. There's an accurate throw for you. 1 hopper. That way, Nick.
Cole's had a better night at the plate than on the mound tonight. He's 1 for 1 with his first major league homer. And he pops this one up to Albies. What a job by Carl. 2 pitches, 2 outs. And he strands 3 Nationals base runners. What a crazy game. Bryce Harper's homer makes it 8-5 Atlanta. Baseball, because your stadium should be where you make it. Well, we've made our stadium on Windy Hill Road, and the ballpark is playing very windy tonight. 5 homers for the Braves and Nationals after 2.5 on this beautiful breezy night. Atlanta tried to even the series at a game apiece with Washington. AJ Cole back out there for the Nationals, with the bottom part of the order coming up for Atlanta. Braves have hit 2 homers, 2 3-run homers. Preston Tucker and Freddie Freeman with big flies tonight.
What a nice job by Carl to throw 2 pitches and get out of that. 8th and 9th hole hitters, I don't care. Left them standing. And Dave Martinez in no hurry to take Cole out of the ball game, let him hit, I guess because he hit a homer his last time up. That's good enough reason.
So Carl is hot on the mound, and he's coming up 4th for Atlanta here in the 3rd inning. As Dansby Swanson leads off and takes a strike. Didn't get the fastball. It's quickly 0-2.
Just like his first at bat, and like so many others we've talked about, 0-2 in Swanson.
Fly ball headed toward left center. That's going to get down on an 0-2 pitch. But the Braves have a base hit from Dansby Swanson to start the 3rd.
Slider. And he left his slider upstairs. Gave Dansby a chance to pick on that 0-2. Love it. No one throwing in their bullpen, Chip, but they are moving around and stretching.
Here's Ryan Flaherty. He struck out his first time, and he hits one the other way. Dansby's going to try to go first to 3rd, and Eaton concedes the base. Atlanta is pecking away at AJ Cole. Back-to-back hits here in the 3rd inning. Well, one thing that the stats say about AJ Cole is that his ground ball rate has increased from 32% of his outs to 43% of his outs. That is not happening tonight. Everything is up and getting hammered.
And he's trying to get the ball down. That was supposed to be a sinker down and away, and it stayed up a little bit right around the knees. And gave Flaherty a chance to take it the other way. Boy, Flaherty's done a nice job of hitting the ball where it's pitched.
He's 9 for 18 at the plate. Brian Snitker was talking about Johan Camargo before the game tonight. Of course, Camargo trying to come back from that side issue. He has not yet played 9 innings in the minor leagues. He's played in some simulated games and the like. But the Braves would like to see him get through a full game before they think about bringing him back up. Unfortunately, as you said, Joe, Flaherty's done a terrific job in Johan's absence at 3rd base.
It's kind of nice when you don't feel the need to rush somebody when you've got an injury that can bother a guy all year long.
8 runs, 7 hits for the Braves. We are in the 3rd inning tonight. Fly ball shallow center. Good one coming on. He's not going to get there. Stewart has a base hit. Swanson scores. It's 9-5. And it's death by 1,000 cuts for AJ Cole. 3 straight Atlanta singles greets him in the 3rd inning.
Nice smile on his face. And the runners doing what they needed to do, and that's kind of go halfway in case it dropped.
So Shane Carl grabs a bat. Backs away from ball 1. Recall in that 11-inning game against the Phillies, the Braves were out of position players in the 11th inning, and Carl had to hit for himself, and he struck out looking.
Pitchers were doing some bunting practice today. That'll come in handy, or hopefully it will.
In that March 30th game, the Braves and Phillies in 11 innings combined to use 16 pitchers.
And the Nationals have another one up in their bullpen now.
1 ball, 1 strike. Anthony's.
Shane did have some sacrifices in his career in the minor leagues, 8 of them. Andy Romero loosening up. They have 4 lefties and 4 right-handers in their bullpen.
Talk about a luxury. Martinez can mix and match at will if he needs to, and Carl gets the 2-strike bunt down. There's only 1 play.
Nice going. Fans appreciate it.
So we go back to the top now, and Ender and Ciarte. Ender has struck out, walked, and scored. 9-5 Atlanta, and only 1 out in the 3rd inning.
Fans appreciate it, and so do his teammates. Get that 2-strike bunt down.
That's foul at first. Eric Young, the senior, I was going to say junior, Eric Young, senior, the Braves' first base coach, makes the play and makes a friend in the first row or 2. Ron Washington, his counterpart in the third base coaching box, has been a busy man tonight. Just the way we like it.
You never have enough runs against this Nationals team. Ender a little mad at himself after fouling that one off. The infield in, get something you can drive through the infield, hit a fly ball to the outfield. And it looks like Cole is trying his hardest to get him to hit the ball on the ground to his drawn in infield. Trying to keep the ball down and throw that sinker.
Kept that one down, and a nice stop by Montero to keep Flaherty at third base. One ball, 2 strikes.
Tough pitch to lay off. You've been getting all those pitches down low. They're trying to get you to hit the ball on the ground, and then you get one you see real well. About shoulder high. It's tough to lay off, but he did.
Foul back our way. First start of the season for A.J. Cole. And the statistics for his outing tonight are on the big scoreboard in left. His walks and hits per inning pitched so far tonight is 4.71. That's not good. Popped away. We'll do it again. 2-2. Batting average against .615 for the Braves.
Hopefully it'll go up right here. Ender's doing a good job of fighting off some tough out pitches. Like that one. He's doing what you should do, and that is with these RBI chance, these RBIs sitting out there, is with the count 2 strikes, make sure you don't give up the outer half of the plate. Drive the ball to the outfield, get at least one in. They tried to buzz him inside there, and he fought that off.
2 balls, 2 strikes. He pulls it right to the second baseman. Kendrick, who's flipped to first, is in time. Cole makes a big pitch when he needed to. And the runners hold at second and third now with 2 outs, and Ozzie Albies is coming up. Ozzie had 2 hits in his first 4 games. He's got 2 hits, 2 runs, and an RBI in tonight's game.
Derek Lilliquist, pitching coach, heading out.
I'm pretty sure he's saying we're not going to walk Albies to get to Freeman.
I don't think that's part of the equation.
So again, Washington had not trailed all year. Their starters coming into tonight's action. Perfect 4-0 with a 1.07 ERA.
Braves have been doing a good job when they've had opportunities to get those guys in scoring position. Best in the major leagues. 21 for 43 so far on the year. Last night they just didn't get many opportunities against Roark, but they picked it up again tonight. Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot.
Ozzie 2 for 2. Let's see if he can pick up Ender here in the Braves third. 65 pitches for Cole now. A swing and a miss. Strike 1. Fly ball shallow right center. Harper coming on. He's going to make the catch with Goodman barreling in to the Nationals right fielder. Atlanta picks up a run on 3 hits. 9-5.
Got together, and Sam Calkins was early at the stadium. He got some autographs. Freddie Freeman, Brian Snitker. Now he has legs and was in need of new prosthetics legs. So with the Braves, Andrew Hauser, who you're going to see in just a second, presents the 9-year-old Sam Calkins with a pair of new titanium racing prosthetics legs. Sam's response to Andrew was, "Well, I can beat you now." That is great stuff. He was all smiles, and guys, if that doesn't make you feel good, you change the channel or you get out of here. It was a fantastic moment. A lot of tears. Great stuff, guys.
It was wonderful.
Adam Eaton leads off the 4th for Washington. Yeah, that was a great gesture. And that young man is beaming from ear to ear. And I wouldn't bet against him. I'll bet he could beat Andrew in a race.
I know this would create a big stir around the dugout, between the dugout and the batting cage. A lot of players were gathered around to talk to the young man, sign stuff for him. That was a great outing.
The man's favorite player is Freddie Freeman, who spent some time with him as well before the game. So way to go, Andrew. That was a really special moment. Great work by Paul to capture that for us. As we continue here in the fourth inning, both teams have scored in every inning so far tonight. 9-5 Atlanta. Eaton, Rendon, and Harper coming up. Shane Carl back out for a full inning of work. He got 2 outs on 2 pitches to strand a couple of Nationals runners back in inning number 3.
Well, one of the things we noticed in that 11 inning game was that he was very aggressive, pounding the zone. He's throwing 95, 96, and why not?
Eaton to right. Markakis read it well and makes a chest high running catch. Nick may not be the fastest guy in the Atlanta outfield, but you almost never see him make a bad read or take a bad route.
And one of the good things about that read was that he saw it was a changeup and that Eaton was fooled on it. So wasn't any fear of it being hit over his head. Great break.
Second time in 4 innings, the Braves have retired the Nationals leadoff hitter. Now Rendon hits. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Sharply hit to short, but Dansby had Rendon played perfectly. 2 outs. It's getting to the point in our game with the advanced scouting and the defensive metrics. You hit a ground ball, you're out. And you almost never see an infielder have to move more than 3, maybe 4 steps to get to a ground ball anymore.
That's true.
Dansby a couple of steps to his right to retire Rendon, and now Bryce Harper hits. 1 for 2, a homer, 2 RBIs. Beware of the first pitch. And taken a little low.
97 on that one. Boy, he is throwing downhill.
Harper was a little late. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Seeing more and more players wearing that flap. An extension from their ear flap. I don't blame them.
Now Carl's ahead of Harper, 1-2. Harper hoping for a healthy 2018, his free agency year. Everybody in Washington thought his season was going to end last August 12th when he hyperextended his knee. Crossing the first base bag cost him 41 games.
That was an ugly fall. Twenty plate appearances so far on the year. He hasn't struck out once.
Well, Carl's got him set up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But it missed for a full count. This is where Harper's so dangerous. Last year, 14 of his 29 homers came in 2 strike counts. Now the 3-2. And out of play. You know, he has that, I don't want to say violent swing, but it's just such an aggressive swing. It makes you wonder how he can cover the outside part of the plate, because it looks like he's pulling off the ball, but he does, and he, even when he's late, he fouls balls hard the other way.
And it's, I don't know that he's really late. He's just hitting the ball that's out there trying to go the other way with it. And I really admire him for being willing to change a little bit there on the front foot.
It's like, why?
Yeah.
That's probably why Harper's so great. As he takes another walk, this one with 2 outs. So Harper walks for the 7th time this year. Again, no strikeouts for him. He's walked 5 times in the first 2 games of this series. And Zimmerman's coming up with a 2-run homer to his ledger. That came in the first against Julio Teheran. Zimmerman pops it up right to Markakis, who gallops in right field. He's got it. Carl continues his good work. Freddie Freeman's coming up for Atlanta in the 4th. Braves lead at 9-5. SunTrust Park. It is a wild one. The teams have combined for 14 runs, 14 hits after 3.5 innings. 5 homers combined for the Braves and Nationals. And Martinez sending A.J. Cole back out there for another inning. Already given up 9 runs tonight. 3 of them came off the bat of Freddie Freeman in the second, a long 3-run homer.
Two things at work here, perhaps. One, I'll say he's only thrown 67 pitches, so shouldn't be exhausted. They're trying to get another inning out of him to save the bullpen, and I'm sure Dave Martinez would tell you, and we're only behind 4 runs.
Yeah, right. And at some point they got to figure out if A.J. Cole can get major league hitters out in rotation for them. He's had some opportunities before and has had his share of troubles, especially against the Braves, and that's continued tonight.
Well, and if he's not the guy, then they got to find somebody for that 5th spot.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Freddie's down swinging. First time they've retired Freeman tonight. As Cole, who struck out the side in the first despite giving up 4 runs, now has strikeout number 4.
It's kind of a funny swing from Freddie. Kind of looked like Cole stumbled a little bit when he threw that pitch.
Nick Markakis a double, a run, and an RBI. He's also flied out. He drives one toward right field. Harper running parallel to the wall. And there's plenty of room in the corner for out number 2. Cole set down 5 straight, which includes the sacrifice by Carl an inning ago. As Preston Tucker hits, he turned around a 3-0 Washington lead with a 3-run homer of his own. Fly ball to left. Eaton on the run. Still coming. Can't get there. Tucker chugging around first. He's on his way to second, and he'll stand with a 2-out double.
Good hustle. Pull one in the chop house. Slice one down the left field line. That away. They don't know how to play you now. Sinker. Took it the other way, and that used to be a fly ball that Adam Eaton ate up. I think that was an indication that he is not back to 100% just yet.
So 2 outs, another trip to the plate for Dansby, who's 1 for 2. He scored last inning. You mentioned if Cole can't hang on to this number 5 spot, the Nationals do have a veteran major league guy waiting in the wings in Syracuse. That's Jeremy Hellickson. Remember, they made a push, it was rumored, for Jake Arrieta before he ended up signing with the Phillies. Line over second and down for a hit. Here comes Tucker. Harper wanted to load up and throw to the plate. He can't. It's an RBI hit for Swanson, and the Braves have it even 10.
Little 2-out lightning. Gotta love it. That'll make up for that deep drive that Dansby hit last night. That was dropped by Kendrick for an error.
So that's the end of the line for A.J. Cole, whose miseries against the Braves have continued. 10 runs on 10 hits, including 2 long home runs tonight. After 3 2/3 innings, the Braves are in the Nationals bullpen. And Braves wrap up our series tomorrow. Our coverage starts at 11:30 on Fox Sports South. April in the ATL, presented by Advance Auto Parts. Mike Foltynewicz and Max Scherzer will be two flamethrowers. Annie Romero's another flamethrower who's on in relief tonight.
Yeah, right around 97 miles an hour most of the time, sometimes up to 99. Since 2013, only one other left-hander reliever has averaged with a higher velocity. Aroldis Chapman.
So Washington's bullpen has not had to work a lot. That's certainly understandable with Strasburg, Gio, Scherzer, and Tanner Roark. As the runner goes, the pitch high, the throw to second is late. Dansby Swanson with his first stolen base of the year. Nationals pen has worked only 10 2/3 innings in the first 4 games. They'll have to work overtime tonight.
Your dad used to have a saying when the Braves were scoring a bunch of runs. He'd say, "Hey, save some for tomorrow." Not yet.
Not yet. Not with this group.
We're not to that point yet tonight.
One ball, one strikes. As that just missed to Ryan Flaherty. Mets lead the Phillies 2-0. That game is late in New York. Matt Harvey must have pitched a good ball game. That's good news for New York, if true. Dansby's trying for third, and Flaherty just got smoked. 96 miles an hour, and no escape hatch for Ryan Flaherty, who wears one. Swanson has to head back to second base.
That hurt. I couldn't tell if it got any of that elbow guard or not. Hope so. Hope it got some of that.
It's the 4th inning, and Chris Stewart's in the box for the 3rd time tonight. Kind of the way things were going for Atlanta's pitching staff in game 1. Braves have scored in every inning. 4 in the first, 4 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 so far here in the 4th. And Stewart facing a 1-1 count.
And the Nationals had 8 runs on 10 hits last night. But there were 3 guys that had 6 plate appearances. Top of the order.
Julio Teheran started for Atlanta tonight. Didn't have it. 5 runs in 2 1/3 innings, including 3 homers. A.J. Cole just taken down as the Nationals starter. He's given up 10 runs on 10 hits. Swanson belongs to him. Flaherty is Romero's responsibility as he stands at first base. Line drive center. Good one coming on. Diving catch. And that takes away a hit and an RBI from Stewart. Braves add another run in the 4th inning. 10-5 your score. Atlanta lead, and Shane Carl filling in for Julio Teheran. Has a chance to vulture his way to his first major league win perhaps tonight. He's gone an inning and 2/3 scoreless. He'll work the 5th inning with Kendrick, Turner, and Goodwin coming up.
Yeah, if the starter doesn't go 5 innings, it's up to the official score to determine who was most effective for the rest of the way. So far, so good for Shane.
Yeah, let's hope he keeps it up. First pitch swing, ground ball short. Dansby's got it, perfectly placed, and 1 out. Working long stints should be pretty familiar territory for Shane Carl, who came up in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, then was sent to the Colorado Rockies. He was a starting pitcher most of his minor league career. He was 5-8 in 27 games at Albuquerque, 19 of those starts. They moved him to the bullpen the next year. Then he got to Colorado last season, pitched in 3 games. 1 year at New Britain in 2015, went 14-7, 3 complete games and 2 shutouts.
I believe it.
And the Braves got him from the Pirates in a cash transaction January 17th. Played college ball with the Cabrillo, or at Cabrillo College in Aptos, California, then transferred to Long Beach State. And was selected by the Pirates in the 10th round in 2013. He's just filling the strike zone up, which is what you want to do with a 5-run lead.
And isn't it, I guess, proof that if you throw strikes, the other team's putting the ball in play, there's a good chance maybe the ball's going to be hit at someone.
Yeah.
You're going to give up some hits. He took a loss the other day in 11 innings, but it was on a couple of singles on a sac fly.
Breaking ball just struck out Turner, who can't believe it.
That was a good pitch.
He's retired for the first time. 2 outs. He'll eat his shirt and grab some bench. First strikeout for Carl. Well, it really is a percentage game, is it not? I mean, we talk about the 3 outcome at bats, home run, strikeout, walk in the major leagues, which is so prevalent nowadays. If a hitter comes up batting .280, that means 72% of the time he's out. So throw a strike. The odds are in your favor that he's going to not hit the ball in green grass, especially with all the defensive shifts that are going on nowadays. So it truly is refreshing when you see relievers like Carl, or heck, starting pitchers, get after these hitters, attack them, make them uneasy in the box. As one of those aforementioned shifts is in play for Brian Goodwin, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. And that's what Sandy Koufax used to say. He wasn't trying to strike people out. He wanted hitters to hit the ball. He just didn't want to make a fat pitch that they hit hard.
It makes sense.
Lord knows we can't go there.
It makes sense to throw strikes.
A ball and 2 strikes. Little tapper, soft contact. Dansby can't get that. It's under his glove and into center field. So that's a situation where Goodwin beat the shift. If Dansby was playing straight up at normal shortstop position, that might have been right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to throw him out. He was doing what he had to do to have any chance at all, and that just trying to make a backhanded swipe at it, trying to get his feet together. But Goodwin runs too well to have a chance at him.
That has rightly scored a hit. And here's Montero, who's 0 for 2. That stroke toward left. Tucker is there. He's got it. Carl continues his excellent work. 2 2/3 innings of spotless relief. Tennessee, where 50 years ago tonight the great Dr. Martin Luther King gave his final speech before he was assassinated. And of course, April 4th, the day of remembrance, marking the 50th anniversary of those events that took place in 1968. Tomorrow afternoon during our Nats Braves game, we'll reflect on the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with coverage of ceremonies taking place in Memphis, as well as the Braves on-field events in partnership with Ebenezer Baptist Church. You can also go to @Fox Sports Braves for additional photos and video from what I'm sure will be a very special and emotional day here in Atlanta and all around the country. Braves will have a big special ceremony tomorrow beginning at 10 a.m. Joe Torre, Ralph Garr, and Felix Millan, who remembers the 1968 Braves, will meet the media and talk about their memories of 1968. The Ebenezer Baptist Church Choir will perform at the ballpark here at 11 o'clock. The Georgia Power Pavilion stage. The Ebenezer Baptist Church Choir will also perform Lift Every Voice and Sing shortly before noon. Joe Torre will throw out the first pitch. We'll have a moment of silence, and the Braves will take the field with a very special Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. patch.
Carl was trying to hit that to Memphis.
Why not? AJ Cole's hit a home run tonight. Why can't Carl? Not with that swing, though. And here's out number one. First strikeout for Enny Romero, who begins his first inning of relief. Back to the top, an ender who struck out, walked, scored, and grounded out. And a strike.
Pretty nice pitch there. 95 at the bottom of the zone. If there's a bit of an excuse me swing there, but if there's a left-hander that might give you a reason to kind of step in the bucket a little bit, it would be this wild guy. But watch what Ender does. He puts his foot down before the ball's ever released, and then just waits on the pitch to use his hands. The guy throws hard enough, he doesn't really have to do a whole lot else, because all Ender wants to do is hit a line drive somewhere. But he's not bailing, he's not stepping out, he's not letting his front hip fly out. He's just taking that early step and then waiting.
Nice swing at that pitch, but he's going to fly out to Eaton left. And Ender's retired for out number two. Good night tonight for Ozzie Albies. 2 hits, 2 runs, and an RBI. He's got 10 runs on 10 hits versus AJ Cole, the National starter.
How many at-bats has he had right-handed?
He was 1 for 18 left-handed coming in, so that would have made him 1 for 2. So not many. Even count. He did good work against the Nationals last year. He hit .308 against him. 26 at bats, 8 hits, including a couple of homers. Very exciting, powerful, switch hitting second baseman. Two balls, 2 strikes. That's headed toward right. Bryce Harper will have a chance to say hi, y'all. And we'll do it again. Red Sox lead Miami. That's 2-1 in the 11th. Marlins are playing tough, despite being woefully shorthanded with all the trades and injuries they've dealt with. They have the Cubs in for the first 4 games of the series. Now the Boston Red Sox. Unfortunately, though, for Miami, they're averaging 15,000 a game
with those 2 teams.
Correct. Seattle beat the Giants out west 6-4. Giants home opener at AT Park. Giants having a very special season. They're celebrating their 60th anniversary of their move west with the Dodgers. Their first game there, April 15th, 1958. They beat the Dodgers 8-0 behind a complete game shutout by Ruben Gomez.
That old Seal Stadium.
Seal Stadium. And when Horace Stoneman was taken out to Candlestick Point, I'm sure it was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And
it was.
What a beautiful place to put a baseball stadium. Well, that's where they built it, not knowing that the cold winds and fog would come cascading over the stands night after night. 3-2 pitch. And out of play.
He was. There was a good story about that. That the developer who owned the land and everything knew exactly when to bring him out and show him how beautiful it was.
His last name wasn't O'Malley by any chance, was it?
No. No, but Walter was. The only way he was going to be able to move the Dodgers west was to have a team go with him. How about that? 2 teams in New York leaving.
Gone. Yep.
Yankees said, see ya.
And baseball, yeah, right. And baseball changed forever. Can't imagine what that was like as a baseball fan and how jarring it must have been for baseball fans everywhere to go to the newspapers the morning of April 16th, 1958, and not see the New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers, but San Francisco and LA. It had to just be tremendous culture shock. Good bat here by Ozzie.
Great.
Fighting off 97.
I think about the great joy there must have been in that city to have 3 teams during that period in New York. It's a different day. The game was different.
3-2 pitch. Line toward third. What an at bat. Eaton to a sliding stop. Ozzie chugging for 2. What an at bat. A 12-pitch at bat turns into a 3-hit night for Albies, who ropes a hustle double.
Exciting player. This is a big league at bat. And he was thinking 2 as soon as he left the box. And as David Justice would tell you, he's got the flow working.
Love it. 3-hit game for Ozzie, who had 2 hits coming in. Freeman bats. Freddie's got a 3-run homer tonight, his second home run of the season. 10 runs on 11 hits. Look, I know the Nationals lapped the field in the East last year. I know the Braves finished 25 games behind them last season. But it was not a cakewalk for the Nationals when they played the Braves. 19 games, almost evenly split. The Braves were 9-10 against Washington last year. Good to see the Braves, after a rough night last night, come right back with a big game against A.J. Cole. Challenge will be finishing off tonight's game and then squaring off with Max Scherzer in the daylight tomorrow in game 3.
The early daylight. 12:10. And the slide step, quick pitching. So does Romero go for the out? Does he pitch around Freddie and try to get him to chase? I'm guessing the latter.
We're about to find out. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Trying to play with him.
Line into right field. He beat the shift. Ozzy's going to come around and score. Harper plays it off his chest. No further advance. 2-hit game for Freeman and 4 RBIs.
Fastball, but not well located, and that's how you pay. Harper fortunate that Freddie was pulling up at first.
So the Braves very efficient tonight. 11 runs, 12 hits. And sliced foul by Markakis. He's looking for a 2-hit night.
Freddie Freeman is now 6 for 7 with runners in scoring position. That's a good start.
And let's be honest, he has not had many opportunities to swing the bat. Teams have pitched around him an awful lot the first 4.5 games. Now Markakis serves one the other way. Eaton can't get to that one. 3 straight Atlanta hits with 2 outs.
Nick's got his second hit. Great 12 pitch at bat by Albies to keep the inning going and actually get all this started, and then 2 lefties against Romero come up with hits.
Now another lefty, Preston Tucker. 2 extra base hits for the Braves left fielder. 3-run homer, a double, and he scored twice. This one counts toward first base side of second base. The shift was on. Trey Turner makes the play, and that retires the side. Braves had a 5th inning run.
And all of the traditional variety. But down in Houston, Carlos Correa says, you know, you don't need to send one all the way over the wall to get the people up on their feet. Looks like it's gone, doesn't it, fellas? Goes deep. Minute Maid Park, is it deep enough? It's off the wall, and Correa just continues to run and run and run, and why not? And inside the Parker, Astros up on the O's 3-2. Back to Chip and Joe.
And you know what, Jerome? He had to come out of last night's game. He fouled the ball off his foot, and his toe was so sore that he didn't play after the first inning, and he had a big guard on for that tonight, and he still was able to circle the bases.
So he Sergeant Hulked them.
Yeah, right.
What a night, though. You hit an inside the park homer, and oh, by the way, before the game, you get your World Series ring. Well, this is Michael Taylor. He's pinch hitting for Annie Romero. Taylor got the start last night, had the hat trick and strikeouts, singled, walked, scored, and stole a base. And Carl is just dealing.
Carl is carving up the Nationals. Boy, is he pitching well.
Second strikeout as he tries to get through his third full inning.
Good spot for that little short slider.
Romero goes an inning and a third, 3 hits with a run and a strikeout. Carl following Julio Teheran. Here's Adam Eaton. And a strike. Now, to assume from an umpiring standpoint, if you're around the plate and you're aggressive, if it's a close call, you're probably going to get the benefit of the doubt. And Carl's been very impressive. 31 pitches. As that missed upstairs. Even count. The Nationals gave up a king's ransom to get Adam Eaton, part of the White Sox big rebuild. Nationals traded Lucas Giolito, Reynaldo Lopez, and Dane Dunning, 3 right-handed pitchers, to acquire Eaton December 7th, 2016. And the reason, very simple. They wanted a high energy, high on base guy at the top of their lineup. Flaherty plays it off his chest and then threw it away.
Watching Eaton run, you see how far he ran past the first base bag in order to stop. There is a definite, I say, limp in his effort to stop and favoring that leg. And there, the limp.
Well, rehab is one thing. I guess at some point you have to find out how that leg's going to respond to game speed.
This day and age, it seems like, and I don't know all the specifics on his injury, may be more severe than just an ACL tear, but guys are coming back so quickly from that without what appear to be any ill effects. He doesn't look like he's fully recovered at all, at least from the running standpoint.
One ball, no strikes for Anthony Rendon. And that's up and in. Eaton tore the ACL. Lunging for first base in the 9th inning of a game against the Mets on April 28th last season. Fly ball center. Ender on the run. Still going to the running track. And a step shy of the wall, hauls it in. Earlier tonight, that might have been a home run. Instead, it's deep fly out for Rendon in the 2nd out of the inning. And for Eaton, as you see the catch again, the injury had to be doubly frustrating, Joe, because he came from the White Sox, who were a 2nd division club in the AL Central, to Washington, hoping to be a part of a team to go to the World Series, and a month into the season he blows out and is lost for the year. But he is back now, and the Nationals are happy to have him. He stands at first with 2 outs. Shane Carl will be taken down. Boy, was he good again tonight. 3 1/3 innings of shutout relief, trying to protect an 11-5 lead for Atlanta. A couple of changes coming up. We'll tell you about them after the break. Ticket packs and giveaways all year long. Don't forget the Ender Inciarte Gold Glove bobblehead, the Ozzy Calrissian Star Wars bobblehead, 2 Chipper Jones Hall of Fame giveaways and more. Go to Braves.com/promotions and you'll see the full list of events and giveaways throughout this 2018 season. Peter Borges takes over in left field. He'll hit 9th. Sam Freeman is on to face Bryce Harper. A runner aboard, 2 outs. Strike 1.
Sam came in to face him last night in the 9th inning, got him a ground out. That catch by Ender, a beauty out in deep right center field. Covered a lot of ground, but he did a great thing by trying to run to the spot where he thought it was going to come down, and then it became an easier catch for him. Able to kind of break down and slow down and under control.
Harper reaches, rolls to Flaherty. He'll fire across the diamond in time, and Freeman comes in and takes care of Bryce Harper. Braves by 6 in the 6th.
Ender made, look at him, full tilt, went to a spot where he thought it was going to come down, and then he made it easy and glided to it. It's so much easier that way than trying to drift on it and time it so you get there at the same time the ball comes down on a dead run. That's hard to do.
Well, Sean Kelly's back out there for the Nationals. Kelly pitched the 8th inning last night with a couple of strikeouts. Adam Eaton is out of the game. And we'll show you the Nationals changes here in a second as Dansby Swanson takes ball 2. Michael Taylor is in center. Goodwin moves from center to left. Dansby Swanson already with 3 multi-hit games this year. His 3rd multi-hit game last season came on May 16th, the 35th game he played. So, Joe, those mechanical adjustments that he was working on this offseason paying early dividends.
Sure are.
Here in Game 5.
The one thing that I like to see is that it doesn't look like he's trying to pull the ball quite as much. He has turned on the ball and hit it with authority, but he's not, doesn't appear to be trying to do that.
to center. Taylor backpedals, and we'll have room. And there's the first out.
And he's making outs with solid contact too, squaring it up.
One away in the 6th for Ryan Flaherty. Miami's tied Boston. How about the Marlins? That's a 2-2 game now, bottom 12 at Marlins Park. Mets shut out the Phillies 2-0. Cardinals lead Milwaukee 4-1 at Miller Park. Here it's 11-5 Atlanta. The Nationals scored 3 in the first. The Braves came roaring back with 4 in the first, 4 in the second. And Atlanta has scored in every inning to this point.
In case you were wondering, the Mets scored 2 runs tonight, beat the Phillies 2-0, as you said. Ben Lively pitched into the 6th inning, 5 2/3 innings, and they used 4 relievers after that.
So 5 more pitchers used by Gabe Kapler in a 2-0 game in New York. That is going to be a very interesting introduction when the Phillies finally play their home opener, as they've started the season 1-3. And fouled back by Flaherty for a 2-2 count.
Keep in mind, they only had to pitch 8 innings.
That's right there, a called strike, and Flaherty caught looking, and that's 2 out.
You mentioned last night that Kelly battled some injuries last year. He's always had a good arm, good life to his arm. Struck out 2 in a 1-2-3 inning last night. Another solid setup guy if they need him to be in that position late in the ball game.
I was just going to say, he is really effective. 6th inning, 7th inning, 8th inning. So many Nationals tried and were unsuccessful closing out games until they went and acquired Madsen, Kinsler, and Doolittle at the deadline last year. And as you said too, Joe, 4 lefties, 4 righties. What a luxury for Dave Martinez. Great balance, great stuff. And oh, by the way, right now 4 outstanding major league starting pitchers in rotation. 0-2 for Stewart. Base is empty. And that's smacked towards center, right at Taylor, who's over a step or 2 to his left. And Kelly has a 1-2-3-6, the first of the night, tossed by the Nationals. We go to the 7th. We welcome you back to the ballpark. Game 2 of our series with the Nationals, with Braves Hall of Famer Joe Simpson, Paul Bird, our fine producer Brian Woodrum, Mike Miller, our director, Gretchen Caney, our AD, Drew Jenkins, our statistician downstairs, Jared Burleson, the master of mathematics up in the booth, and Val Burrell, our stage manager. Good night tonight. Lively crowd, beautiful night, and the Braves are thumping the Nats 11-5 as we enter the 7th inning.
I want to thank Flip Feinberg for the nice weather tonight too. Well done, sir.
Perfect night. Hope it continues for one more day here in Atlanta as we tee it up at 12:10, first pitch tomorrow. Braves live at 11:30. Having major plans. Hope you'll join us. One ball, one strike. Well, what a night this could be for Shane Carl. Patiently working his way through the minor leagues. Finally gets a shot at the show with Atlanta, and on April the 3rd, he is 6 outs away, make that 9 outs away from his potential first major league win.
Did an outstanding job. And again, kudos for just being on the attack, throwing strikes.
Ground ball. Ozzie was shifted, bobbled, throws, and it's late. That's twice tonight that the Nationals have spoiled the defensive alignment for Atlanta. Zimmerman's aboard to start the 7th inning.
And they've done it on 2 slowly hit ground balls. 27 hopper turns into a base hit for Zimmerman.
Only chance Ozzie had was to field that cleanly. So Zimmerman a 2-hit night. Howie Kendrick with a man aboard, nobody out. Line into left field. Boy, that had a ringing sound.
That had some extension on it. He turned around a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
He's a good player, boy. Has been for a long time. Most of it with the Angels in the American League.
Low fastball, so he just dropped the barrel down on it and smoked it.
And so this is where you start to get a little antsy as the lineup moves to the bottom of the card for the Nationals, because if this rally continues, you know, Rendon, Harper, and Zimmerman are lurking back at the top. And this guy's no slouch, hitting 6th tonight. Trey Turner, he's a big RBI guy. 1 for 2 with a couple of stolen bases in tonight's game. He was swinging for the fences, didn't get it. 0-1. That's hit to third. What a play. Flaherty out at third. Throw to first. And it's just not in time. Flaherty diving at the third base bag, smothered the ball, touched the bag with his glove to force Zimmerman, and nearly got Turner on a across the diamond double play.
And if it's not Turner, if he's got a little more time to maybe get up on one knee, he probably gets the double play. What a nice piece of glove work right there.
So Flaherty's doing it all for Atlanta. First and second, 1 out. Brian Goodwin has moved from center to left. Lefty-lefty matchup here for Freeman. Ball one. Line caught by Ozzie at second. That's a double play.
What a great first step to that. Crossover step, dive, catch. And some help with some bad base running by Kendrick.
Sam Freeman fired up. He got some help from his spectacular young second baseman. Big night for Ozzie Albies. 3 hits and a gorgeous play at second. Atlanta has a big lead as we head to the 7th inning stretch. Let's join Jerome Jurinovich.
Thank you very much, Chip. An exciting game indeed tonight. Everything you could possibly want to see, you have. Great defense right there. We've seen some fantastic offense. Ball jumping out of the park tonight,
A
Brian.
lot of offense, fun to watch if you like home runs. And it started in that first inning. How about Zimmerman? I said don't let Bryce Harper beat you. Make Zimmerman beat you. And boy, did he hit a 2-run bomb to get the early lead 3-0.
That one got out in a hurry.
And how about my man Preston Tucker? He's been clutch so far this year. That's a bomb. How about the Chop House? Let's get in the restaurant. Oh my. 3-run bomb puts the Braves up top 4-3, Jerome.
And they just keep going, BJ. AJ Cole, the pitcher gets into one.
AJ Cole, not the pitcher. Come on.
Well, we're used to seeing that guy go deep.
Hey, we
And
talked
this
about
one
it.
jumped.
We talked about it before the game. Patient hitter, aggressive hitter. Take your walks when they make the mistakes. Hey, make them pay. Oh, here he goes.
Yeah, another one.
Bryce Harper, my pick to click. Another bomb. Jeez, this guy can play.
Well, when you send out 5 home runs in a game, you know Harper's going to have one of them, no question about it. Perhaps SunTrust Park, for the night at least, can be called the new launching pad, Chip and Joe.
Yeah, well, the ball is flying out here at SunTrust Park. 5 home runs so far. But hey, the storyline for me is Atlanta's offense here in game 2 of the series and the remarkable relief work by Shane Carl for Julio Teheran.
And now by Sam Freeman, who got a little help from his defense behind him. But yeah, for them to come in, both those guys come in and put some zeros up, really has made a difference, made it a little easier for the offense to add on.
This is Sammy Solis. He appeared in 30 games last year for Washington. Again, you'll see some of these guys with high ERAs because early in the season last year they were pitching in unfamiliar, high leverage situations and by and large didn't do very well. And the amount of runs that they gave up, it took a long time for them to whittle those ERAs down to even where they finished last year. But now Solis can settle in, pitch the 7th, the 8th, the lefty specialist, as he faces Peter Borges leading off in the home 7th inning. Another nice sized crowd in Atlanta this evening, 26,782. Yeah, just missed.
Solis can rush it up there. Low to mid-90s. Curveball changeup.
Full count. And Borges is caught looking. He thought he earned ball 4. Solis has his first strikeout.
Boy, right at the bottom of the zone.
Winders up there for the 5th time here in the 7th inning. And he didn't get a fastball from the University of San Diego Torero, Sammy Solis. That's Chris Bryant's alma mater.
Not too far from being your daughter's alma mater.
God willing, 2 more years. Solis began his career as a starter. The Nationals moved him to the bullpen in 2015. Like so many in their pen, he brings it.
That was an excellent breaking ball to a left-handed hitter there on the heels of a high 90s fastball. Once again, Ender trying to get that foot down quickly and then just let his hands work.
Still a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Plenty of smiles on the Braves bench tonight. Why not? 11 runs, 13 hits. Nationals got 3 in the 1st inning. You thought, uh-oh, here we go again. But the Braves came right back with a go-ahead homer from Preston Tucker to make it 4-3. A.J. Cole, the Nationals starting pitcher, homered off Tehran in the 2nd to tie it up. But then the Braves scored 4 in the 2nd, single runs in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and haven't looked back since, thanks to excellent relief work from Sam Freeman and Shane Carl tonight.
Another great at bat.
Ozzie Albies might have had the at bat of the game. He's on deck. 5th inning, a 12-pitch sequence saw him double off Enny Romero. I love seeing hitters do this in Braves colors, fighting off tough pitches, making the other guys work, get frustrated. Maybe they make the mistake. Got him that time at 96 miles an hour. That's the 2nd straight strikeout for Solis. And here is Mr. Albies, a 3-hit night. The book says Ozzie is 5'8", 165. I'm buying the 5'8" part. I think the 165 might be a little light.
Maybe when he signed.
Out of Curacao, Braves signed him as a non-drafted free agent in 2013. And a swing and a miss. Very impressive 7th inning by Solis, who just struck out the side. We head to the 8th. Braves in command in game 2. defeat. I think he took that to heart because he's won his last 2 races going away.
A valiant effort. Yeah, that guy that beat the Freeze during the Phillies series could really go.
He was flying.
Yeah, he's a big guy too.
Yeah. So the Freeze ices another opponent, and A.J. Minter will try to do the same to the Nationals here in the 8th inning.
So far this year for A.J., just 1 game, 2/3 of an inning, 0s across.
Montero, Taylor, and then the pitcher's spot scheduled for Dave Martinez's Nationals. 11-5, the Braves have the lead. Montero an 0 for tonight. 0 for 3 fly balls. Pedro Severino started last night for the Nationals and got on base 5 times. Washington had to disable Matt Wieters before the game yesterday. He's shelved with an oblique problem. Washington still without Daniel Murphy. He's coming back from microfracture knee surgery. He is beginning to run. Not doing a whole lot of sharp cutting quite yet. But they're eagerly awaiting his return from a very serious injury. Montero skies it foul and out of play.
Yeah, he's had that knee injury, maybe not that severe, but it's bothered him for a couple 3 years off and on. And he's such a good player and such a terrific competitor. This has got to be eating him up. Be relegated to relegated to the bench and watch and not be a part of this great offense.
I believe Murphy will be a free agent at the end of the season.
Already?
I think he signed a 3-year deal. I may be wrong about that. But I read something today that surprised me. The Nationals will have something along the lines of $80 million in payroll coming off their books. Will that be enough to retain Bryce Harper?
Think about this. Someone was saying yesterday, if they don't go after him and if the advertised price is $400 million, how many players can you go get for $400 million instead of just one?
A lot of them. Ball 4 inside, a leadoff walk to Montero, but there's a cautionary tale there. The Chicago Cubs thought the same thing when Greg Maddux went to free agency. You might recall Greg Maddux signed the contract with the Braves and started to have kind of second thoughts. Yeah, you know, maybe I shouldn't leave Chicago. And he called him back and said, we've already spent the money. They went out and got 3 other guys who were allocated Greg Maddux's dollars, and they weren't Greg Maddux.
I did not know that.
Michael Taylor fouls it back. So it's kind of the old, the one you know versus the ones you don't, if you're going to pay that money. And for Bryce Harper and the Nationals, it's a great problem to have because they are all in for 2018. As that one's tipped at the plate. And Michael behind 0-2. $11 runs, 13 hits for the Braves, 5 runs, 9 hits for Washington. And Minter missed a little low. It's 1-2. Little pop, foul grounded first. Freddie's going to put that in his back pocket. 1 away. Be fun to watch AJ Minter develop over the course of the 2018 season. Well, Defoe is going to come on and hit here in the 8th.
So the pitcher spot with Eaton out.
One thing that was noticed about Minter last year in his 16 games was his excellent control. 26 strikeouts, only 2 walks. Well, the walk to Montero was a little surprising to start the 8th inning.
And looked like a pretty good pitch that was ball 4.
Line foul. Past third.
Yeah, I see where Toronto's beating up on the White Sox again tonight. What was that deal about Josh Donaldson whistling at the White Sox dugout? Did you see that?
I did not.
He had an opposite field homer. Watched it for a little bit, and then when he got to home plate, he was like putting his fingers in his mouth like he was whistling at the White Sox first base dugout. I couldn't figure that one out. Never heard any more about it.
Me either. To the left side, Flaherty's got it. Fires to second for 1. Ozzie the turn, but that's too late to get the speedy Defoe. 2 outs. Maybe Josh is a Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs fan. He was whistling while he worked. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know either. I do know he's had some shoulder problems that has folks in Toronto concerned. The old dead arm. Not able to get a whole lot on his throws at third base. It's an important year for Donaldson. I think he's a free agent too.
Yes, he is.
They've done a nice job with Anthony Rendon tonight. He's 1 for 4. He bats with 2 outs and a man at first. And Minter misses low. First week in, Nationals and Pirates entered play as the last undefeated teams in the major leagues. Baltimore 1-3 to start the year. A dark horse candidate in the AL East. Red Sox off to a 4-1 start. Out to be 5-1 as they lead Miami 4-2 in the 13th inning. As this one hit to right, and Markakis. AJ Minter with a successful 8th inning. Strands a Nationals runner and protects an 11-5 lead. Braves lead. Time for a live look inside SunTrust Park from our Xfinity cam. You can see those lights all strung up at the beautiful Omni Hotel. Pool deck will be hopping here in the next few weeks once the weather gets warm consistently. And tonight, nice crowd inside SunTrust Park. 26,782 for Game 2. Trevor Gott's the fourth Phillies reliever.
I got the lowdown on the whistle.
Okay.
I'll give it to you after Freddie hits.
And Freddie's done some hitting tonight. 4 RBI game for him. He's scored a couple of runs. He's walked again, and he's struck out for only the second time this season.
Fastball, curveball forgot. Fastball, mid-90s.
John spent most of the year last year with the Nationals AAA club in Syracuse. One thing they like about him, he kept the ball in the ballpark. Just 2 homers in 37 1/3 innings last season. And he just walked Freddie Freeman to lead off the 8th inning.
Okay, apparently the White Sox first base coach Darrell Boston, former big league player, when he's on the bench, if the White Sox make a good defensive play, he blows a whistle.
Really?
So Donaldson was jokingly, I guess, crossing home plate and trying to whistle with his batting gloves on.
How'd that work out?
I don't know. Like I did something pretty good here. Where's the whistle?
Good night at the plate for Nick Markakis. Let's see, Albies with a multi-hit game. Freeman, Markakis, Preston Tucker, Dansby Swanson, all with 2 or more hits tonight. Served down the left field line. Markakis with another hit. Freeman headed for third base. Markakis with a double. He's got 3 hits.
Love it.
He's line to line in the early days of the year. And the Braves in business with nobody out in the 8th inning. Lane Adams grabs a bat. He'll pinch hit.
Oddly, last night the Braves pitchers struck out 10 batters and lost 8-1. Tonight the Nationals have struck out 9 and are losing 11-5.
A.J. Minter, a scoreless inning in relief. Ball 1, strike 1 for Braves pinch hitter Lane Adams. Wonderful seeing Matt Adams in the lineup for Washington tomorrow. Former Brave. Ground ball up the middle. That's in for a hit. 1 run scores. Markakis gets waved home. A pinch hit single for Lane Adams and 2 more RBIs. And the Braves are pouring it on.
It's 5 RBIs out of that spot in the order, and that's 4 RBIs already for Lane Adams after his 2-run homer the other night off of Florimon.
And Lane did not have the best of springs at the plate. I mean, he was really on the bubble as to whether or not he was going to make the club. But he has done good work in the first 5 games. As Dansby swings the bat, didn't get it. He's 2 out of 4. Braves need 1 more hit to set a record for most hits in their first 5 games in franchise history. So far, they've got 56 of them. Against the Phillies in Washington. Thanks, Jared.
And they only had 4 last night, right?
That's correct. Against Tanner Roark. 1-1 pitch. Roller toward third. Rendon, long toss across. The stretch at first is held by Zimmerman. Dansby advances Lane Adams to second. There's the first out.
Smart play by the veteran third baseman. Big chopper like that, he may not have a play at second with a fast runner.
How many RBIs does Lane Adams have? 4. Last year he had 12 pinch hit RBIs the entire season. That was the 4th highest pinch hit total in the major leagues.
Well, he's 3 for 5 as a pinch hitter now with a home run and 4 RBIs. It's a good start.
So those 12 RBIs last season, the most for a Brave pinch hitter since Brooks Conrad and Eric Hinsky had a dirty dozen back in 2010. If memory serves, 4 of Brooks Conrad's came on one improbable play.
Yeah. Against the Reds.
A grand slam.
That was one of the classic video highlights of all time. He thought the ball was caught and was upset, and then he had no idea why everybody was cheering.
Somebody at first base said, turn around and run. It's a home run. As the Braves walked off Cincinnati at Turner Field. Well, you hope the Braves will keep their hitting ways going tomorrow. They will have their hands full with Max Scherzer, who struck out 10 Cincinnati Reds in his season opening game. Flaherty walks on 4 pitches. He's the 4th Brave to reach in the inning. And the Nationals ought to have their hands full with Mike Fultonevich as well. Mike was pleased with his performance. He would have liked to have taken the game deeper, but a high pitch count got him after 5 against the Phillies.
Each with 1 walk, each with a bunch of strikeouts. There might be a few U-turns tomorrow.
Max Scherzer struck out 268 men in 200 2/3 innings last year. In fact, he's gone over 200 innings in 5 straight seasons. That in and of itself in this modern era of ball is a real rarity. A double play ball off the bat of Chris Stewart sends us to the 9th inning. Atlanta in command, 13-5. The Braves have scored in every inning but 2 tonight. Jerome and BJ busy getting their ties tied to look all sharp and nice to talk about a Braves series tying victory tonight. Braves have an 8-run lead, need 3 more outs to get, and they've got to go through Harper, Zimmerman, and Kendrick as you see Lane Adams Joe taking over for Nick in right field for the 9th.
A little playing time for him after the good pinch hit. Dan Winkler in there. Last season he was in 16 ball games. He figures to be in a lot more this year. This is already his 3rd game. 2 innings, a hit, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts.
And it will not be Bryce Harper leading off. It'll be former Brave Matt Adams. Big City is coming up. That leads me to believe he'll be in the lineup tomorrow, but we'll have to wait and see. Well, what a job Matt did for the Braves. We got him a day after Freddie Freeman was felled for 44 games with a broken wrist. Matt didn't really have a position with the Cardinals. The Braves were very happy to get him. And all he did is play 100 games, hit 19 homers, and hit .271. Hit 20 home runs overall. You might recall his first homer came with St. Louis in this ballpark.
Right.
As I said last night, he's kind of taken the roster spot and really the duties of Adam Lind. Matt's an excellent pinch hitter, 9 career pinch hit homers, 41 career pinch hit RBIs. That's the most among active players since 2012.
Been talking about how the Braves played the Nationals tough last year. Went 9-10 against them. Like tonight, a lot of that had to do with their offense. The last 15 games against Washington, the Braves scored 96 runs. That's an average of 6.4. If you count tonight's game and where it stands right now, it's up to 8.7.
Leadoff walk in an 8-run game.
And ahead 0-2.
That's a, shall we say, troublesome thing that is happening for the Braves. Counting tonight's work by Carl, Freeman, Minter, and now Winkler. Braves have walked 17 men out of the bullpen in about 23-24 innings. That's far too many base runners in relief.
Way too many.
In fact, coming into tonight's action, the Braves relief corps has worked a grand total of 4 1-2-3 innings. So there's been some, shall we say, extra anxiety when the relief corps enters the game. Adams will move up on a ball that popped away from Stewart. So he'll stand at second base. What should be a passed ball, and is. There's that pitch over the outer half that Zimmerman's looking for, but it had a hook to it.
Yeah, he was kind of looked like he was trying to pull there.
Well, he did in the first inning, a long 2-run homer off Julio Teheran, who didn't have it tonight. Julio, 2 1/3 innings, a 5-run ball, and 3 home runs in his home ballpark. Means he's allowed 4 homers in his first 9 innings at SunTrust Park this year. One, 2. Zimmerman was fooled. He's down on strikes. Winkler has his first out, and the Braves are 2 out away from knocking the Nationals from the ranks of the unbeaten.
That slider never had the plate, but Zimmerman was ready to swing at it no matter what. We should do that more often.
Well, tomorrow's his chance. Against Mike Fultonevich. Mike's had some good luck at times against Washington. He's 2-2 against them. Beat him last July 6th with 6 innings of 2-run, 5 strikeout ball. That game was on the road. last season. So he'll be bringing the heat at 12:10 Eastern time. He'll join us on Fox. Final game of the inaugural homestand for the Braves in 2018. Then we head to Denver, Washington, and Chicago. We'll rejoin you here in Atlanta on April the 16th when the Phillies come back.
Can't wait for that.
Then the Mets for 4.
Question is, will Gabe Kapler come back?
1-2 on the back. Phillies were shut out tonight. Cardinals had a big lead, couldn't hold it in Milwaukee. The Brewers came back and beat them 5-4. Boy, that Milwaukee team. Keep an eye on the Brewers. Christian Yelich off to a flying start for them.
Yeah, they can throw some bats at you.
It was Chase Anderson and Jack Flaherty starting for their respective clubs. Brewers lost 8-4 last night. They win 5-4 tonight.
We were wondering at dinner tonight about Matt Harvey and his first start tonight for the Mets. He got no decision. 5 innings, a 1-hit shutout ball. 1 walk, 5 punch outs. Good start for him.
Yeah, Kevin Kernan's a fine writer for the New York Post, and he said that the Mets think that they've unlocked the secret for Matt Harvey, and that is courage and conviction with his pitches. They feel like he's finally past all the arm problems, the thoracic outlet issues, the success issues he was having or not having on the mound. And after a pretty solid spring, Harvey came out tonight in his first start of the year and did exactly what the Mets hoped he would, and that's pitch a good solid ball game.
Well, that's all they needed really, was another starter.
Yeah, right. With DeGrom and Syndergaard and Matz et al.
Yeah, Matz pitched yesterday or the day before, and he said he feels better than he's felt in a long time.
Fly ball down the right field line. Also maybe getting some good news. Michael Conforto, who played in some spring training games, he may be getting ready to come back for New York. And after the injury he suffered late last year and the severity of that injury, there are a lot of folks who are worried that that might be it for Michael for a long time. Torn shoulder capsule. Swinging the bat. But with Cespedes and Adrian Gonzalez and Todd Frazier and that overwhelmingly good starting staff, who's to say the Mets can't challenge the Nationals in the East? They think they can. Three-two pitch. Ground ball hit to short. That'll bring home a run. The Braves will gladly trade that for the second out. Give Howie Kendrick another RBI, his second of the series. A walk, a pass ball, a wild pitch, and a ground out. Means Winkler's given up a run in the 9th inning. And now Trey Turner, the final hope for the Nationals. Fly ball, shallow center. Ender on the run. He's going to get there, and the Braves win it 13-6. Great work by the Braves bullpen. Almost certainly Shane Carl will be credited with his first major league win after 3 1/3 innings of 1-hit shutout relief. And Joe, the Braves bats were booming in game 2 tonight.
Well, it's fun to see, especially after they fell behind early 3-0. It looked like more of the same from the Nationals, but the Braves offense came right back with 4 of their own in the first and never looked back.
The Nats can't go undefeated this year. The Braves hand them their first loss this season.